Now on BBC One, international tennis, coverage of the Grass Court Championships at the Queen's Club in London.
Well, hello again from the fourth year of the Stella Artois Championships here at Queen's Club, where we cheated last night's rain and hope to avoid the participation that's been promised earlier by Jack Scott. Well, we've had 4 tremendous days of tennis here as the men tune up on grass for the matches at Wimbledon that lie just 10 days away. The London public seems to be enjoying the experience too, for ticket sales, the gross ticket sales already this year have exceeded £129,000, and that's out of a possible total of 150,000. Not bad when you think that last year's final total was 90,000. Now, today, of course, it's the quarter-finals day, and this is how they line up. The number 1 seed at the top of the frame there, John McEnroe, going for a 4th successive title against one of the most exciting newcomers, the 6'6" American Chip Hooper. Fritz Buning, the only unseeded player in the last 8, against the New Zealander Chris Lewis, seeded 12. Brian Gottfried, who was the runner-up here last year to McEnroe, and seeded 7. He takes on the South African Kevin Curran, who's 24 years old and ranked 40 in the world, and I think that's going to be quite an exciting confrontation. That'll be the 3rd match on this centre court today. The opening match, though, is between Mark Edmondson of Australia, a fine figure of a man and a fine server, a past Australian Open champion. In 1976 he won it, who has never, though, beaten Jimmy Connors in 4 or 5 meetings, and last lost to him in Hamburg in 1981. And, of course, Jimmy Connors, ranked number 3 in the world and seeded 2 here, hoping against hope that he'll be playing well enough to recapture the title he won here in 1972. Well, he's built a convincing 4-1 lead in this first set, and in reaching this round, he's lost only 15 games in 6 sets. To bring you up to date with the match so far, our commentators Mark Cox and Dan Maskell.
And Jimmy Connors, I must say, after struggling in an opening game against a man who was serving like a demon, has really run away with 4 really fine games, 2 breaks of service to take that 4-1 lead. But they had a really good opening game with Mark Edmondson serving quite magnificently. Served a couple of aces, served a couple of service winners, and they had 1, 2, 3, 4 deuces, and it really was a terrific opening game. But after that, Connors won his own game to 30. Then he broke after 1 deuce, won his 2nd service game to 30, and now has broken again to 15. So Connors, the number 2 seed, is really well away in this first set of the quarterfinal.
Love 15.
Connors serving rather harder, certainly this year at Queen's, and displacing the strings of the racket occasionally. Lovely, a really lovely running pass, beautifully timed, so low over the net to 15 all.
$30-15.
That was a chance.
40-15.
Mark Edmondson really had a chance with the half volley there. Connors struggling at the back of the court. Playing with great enthusiasm here this week, Connors, and really moving so well.
Game to Connors. Connors leads by 5-1.
So Mark Edmondson, who is standing at number 18 on the computer and is seeded number 5, losing his control a little bit under the pressure of Connors now, and consistent pressure too. He's a very big server, and if he really strikes his game, he's the most dangerous opponent, and particularly on fast grass. So 1-5, first set.
Love 15.
Yes, what a lovely shot.
Love 30.
Interesting how he waited a little bit there to get his opponent moving one way, and at the last moment just played it into the open court. Love 30.
Love 40.
So just at the moment, Connors can do no wrong. Three set points. Oh.
Game and first set to Connors. Six games to 1. Ball change.
24-minute set, and in that last game, really extraordinary scoring. A two-handed return pass, a backhand cross-court pass, a forehand return pass, and a backhand return pass. Really quite marvellous.
And here we can see the backhand pass. Jimmy Connors, he absolutely plays the ball full stretches off the ground when he plays the ball, but he recovers very, very quickly. His racket is back, ready for the next shot. He really is an all-body player. He loves to leap around the court, and of course that's where he gets the weight of shot, from his body moving into the ball. I would think that Jimmy Connors must be a little fearful, actually, Dan, that he's playing so well. He's playing a man who has one of the biggest serves in the game, and he's treating that serve with absolute consummate ease. It's extraordinary how well he's seeing the ball today.
Second set, Connors to serve.
So this is a crucial game for Mark Edmondson. The first game of a set invariably can be absolutely vital, especially if you can break your opponent's serve. It's Connors serving.
What I'm doing before lunch, Connors, I said, you look awfully sharp this year, and he said, yes, I really feel I'm playing well, moving well, but so sharp on the volley. We had an example of it.
Love. 40, love.
Out.
Game to Connors. First game, second set.
Well,
First
so
set to
far,
Connors.
Connors has taken 12 successive points in the sixth game of the first set. He lost the first point on his serve, and since then he hasn't lost a point. It's quite something, Mark.
Yes, it is typical of Connors. I think, though, we tend to a little bit overlook what Jimmy Connors has done in modern tennis, because Borg dominating Wimbledon for so long, for 5 years, Connors really has been very much in his shadow. But when you consider since 1974, he's been ranked in the top 3 players. That's a period of some 8 years he's been in the top 3. He's won, of course, the US Open Championships on 3 occasions. He's been the runner-up twice, the semi-finalist on 3 occasions. In Wimbledon, of course, he won in '74. Runner-up 3 years, semi-finalist 3 years. His record is absolutely magnificent, particularly on this grass court surface. And of course, he's now not a young player. I suppose he would be described as a player of more mature age. He's at 29 years, of course. So it's Edmondson, love 1, second set.
15, love.
Well, that's the 5th ace from Edmondson, and it stops the rod after losing 12 successive points.
All.
That's his second double fault. He's had some of his slightly shorter second services. They haven't been all that short, though, but the shorter second services have been very severely punished by Connors. So obviously he can't afford to not get somewhere near a length on this second serve.
Thirty, 15. Fourteen, 15.
Well, Connors' anticipation was absolutely perfect, but the execution rather hurried. Execution of the stroke, that is. Good rally.
Game to Edmondson. 1 game all, second set.
So having won in the opening game of the match, Edmondson now takes his second game, finishing that game with rather good rally. Now one expects him to be giving severe competition to Connors in this set.
15, love. Love. 40 love. Second service. Game to Connors. Connors leads by 2 games to 1. Second set, first set to Connors.
And watching this very, very interesting quarter-final brings Michael of Kent and his wife, and Sir Brian Burnett, the chairman of the All England Club. Last year they were here watching this tournament.
And Jimmy Connors is certainly in impeccable form today. He's normally known for being a very big hitting player, but we saw in that last game where he delighted us with a lovely touch shot. Both players on the baseline exchanging shots, keeping a good length.
Time.
Players waiting for a short ball. Here comes the short ball bouncing on the service line, so Connors into the net. And here he plays the most delicate drop volley. Clips the top of the net. Perfect shot for grass court play. So Mark Edmondson now to serve. Having to wait whilst Jimmy Connors straightens out his strings, his racket. It's 1-2, second set.
Love.
Well, Connors has had two earlier matches against big servers, and he's really showing the value of that earlier play. Too far back.
15-30.
Edmondson really had a chance of moving in front of the service line there. He rather hung about and had to play a very difficult low volley. 15-30.
$15-40.
He really is having a golden patch on the return of service, Connors. I suppose can be compared with Ken Rose, who was a great returner of the service, this man.
30-40.
That's a very good serve. Very powerful and very accurate. Yes.
Advantage Edmondson.
It's the sixth ace. Oh, that's a gem of a stroke.
Use.
And that shot, I think the running pass, and in fact the running approach shot, particularly on his forehand this week, has been going so well, and he knows it. He's very happy about it indeed. Deuce? I know, a little late on the half volley.
Advantage, Connors.
Oh no.
Game to Connors.
Well, Jimmy Connors is really reading the point so well today. Here comes a drop shot, but Jimmy Connors is moving like a racehorse to it, plays the ball down the line. It was a very important point, of course, because it was a game point for Edmondson. And as we've seen, Connors subsequently broke serve, which has taken him to 3-1 second set.
Connors coming in more than perhaps he normally does, even on grass, and he is doing so because he feels that his service is much more effective. He throws the ball, he says, much more forward than he has been doing.
30, love.
Now that really is as high as I've ever seen Connors jump for a lob. Tremendous spring off the ground.
Game to Connors. Connors leads by 4 games to 1, second set. First set to Connors.
Having a really purple patch, Mark Connors, isn't he?
Well, I think it's breathtaking, actually. Dan, it really is superb. He must be really very, very happy with his performance. He seems to be able to execute almost any shot. And here we see how quickly he comes into the net. He's leaning forwards, and here he had a difficult shot. He checked, and look how high he jumped in the air, a good 2 feet to play a very, very difficult shot. He was completely off balance, but he executed it perfectly. His racket work was superb. And in the audience, I think very excited at the performance also is Patty, in the middle of the picture, which is of course Jimmy Connors' wife, and his brother on the immediate left in the suede jacket. And on the balcony watching, and on the balcony there we see in the yellow shirt Neil Fraser, who's the Davis Cup captain for Australia, who's watching Mark Edmondson, who's a member of his team.
Love 15. All.
One of the few unforced errors that Connors has made there. The service wasn't all that good, and so one really can quite fairly say it was an unforced error.
Yeah. 15-30. First service. 15-40.
Well, that's being contested. Mark Edmondson thought it was out. I think Connors rather felt as he hit the ball it might have been, but no overrule by the umpires.
$30-40.
Oh, that's a good volley. So from 15-40 to deuce, but he's 1-4 down. Edmondson, the server, in the second set. That's a great service.
Advantage, Edmondson. Game to Edmondson. Connors leads by 4-2, second set.
And Edmondson must be a relieved man. He really hasn't been playing all that badly, and the score looks awful, 6-1 and 4-1, but now 4-2, Connors.
15, love. Love. $40, love.
So 4-2, 40 love. Oh, that's a marvellous service.
Connors leads by 5-2, second set. First set to Connors.
Second ace from Connors, and there I think without question we saw how much the service has improved.
Yes, his opponent Edmondson is really having a tough